welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just get right into it, because today we're tackling what we call the architect's dilemma. We're looking at a serious head-to-head matchup between OpenAI Codex and Google Antigravity. Look, we are officially leaving the era of basic AI autocomplete in the dust. We're in the age of autonomous coding agents now. So the big question is, as a lead software engineer, how exactly do you manage this brand new AI workforce? Well, let's break down the core architectural differences between these two heavyweights. To really set the stage here, let's look at a quote that I think just perfectly nails the massive paradigm shift we're all facing. It says, "The future developer may not only write code, the future developer may define tasks, supervise agents, review evidence, and protect the architecture of the system." I mean, think about that for a second. Your day-to-day as an engineering leader is no longer about, optimizing your keystrokes or endlessly wrestling with syntax. The real challenge, and honestly the ultimate opportunity here, is shifting your whole mindset toward agent supervision and protecting your system's architecture. Section 1. The shift to supervisor. It's a stark contrast, right? The old reality versus the new one. You have the traditional coder, hands glued to the keyboard, hammering out logic line by single line. But your future? It's the architect. Your primary job now is going to be defining the exact boundaries of a task, handing it off to an AI, and then rigorously reviewing the output to make sure it actually meets your system standards. You are the orchestrator now. Section 2. Codex, the async delegator. So let's define exactly what Codex is. We call it a delegated engineering agent. It's really not like having a buddy pair programming with you. It's actually much more like having a super disciplined, maybe slightly quiet junior engineer on your team. You hand it a ticket like, hey, add validation to this API endpoint, and it just takes it, quietly retreats into its own isolated cloud container, does all the heavy lifting, and comes back later with a nice, neat pull request for you to approve. And the absolute best part about this for your delivery lifecycle? You literally do not have to change a thing. Codex just seamlessly plugs into your existing GitHub setup. It clones your repo into a completely sandboxed environment, which means you could have, say, 5 different tasks running asynchronously all at the exact same time. You're not sitting there babysitting the AI while it types. You're just acting as the gatekeeper, doing the code review, and the hard part is already finished. 82.7%. Let that sink in. That is the massive score GPT 5.5 achieved on Terminal Bench 2.0. Why does that matter? Because it proves this model has some seriously impressive terminal skills. It's actively running shell commands, executing your test suites, and even iterating on its own code inside that sandbox, all before it ever taps you on the shoulder asking for a PR review. It's incredibly capable. Section 3. Antigravity Live Agent Orchestration. Now let's flip the script and look at the other side of this debate. Antigravity brings a completely different philosophy to the table. It totally ditches that isolated cloud workflow and replaces it with an interactive, multi-agent VS Code fork that lives right there on your local desktop. So you've got a fundamental architectural clash here. On one hand, you have Codex with its task-centric, async delegation, and on the other, Antigravity with its workflow-centric, real-time live orchestration. Okay, so with Antigravity, you aren't just managing one bot. You are literally supervising a 16-agent workforce in parallel. Seriously, imagine assigning a model like Gemini 3.5 Flash or Claude Opus to handle your front end, your back end, and your DevOps tasks simultaneously. You sit in this manager view and literally watch one agent scaffold out a React component while another one is busy writing the just specs for it. It's highly collaborative and it's all unfolding right in front of your eyes, in real time. But here is the absolute superpower of Antigravity, built-in browser validation. Because let's be real, we've all seen code that compiles perfectly but looks like a total disaster once it actually renders on the screen, right? Well, Antigravity agents use a built-in Chromium browser to actually open the UI they just built. They can click around, take screenshots, and visually verify that things work, then surface those visual artifacts right back to you. It's a total game changer. Section 4. Real-world performance benchmarks. Obviously, theoretical features are great, but as engineering managers, we need to know how these tools handle a real-world stress test. So, an engineering team at Communicate actually evaluated both of these agents exactly like you'd evaluate a new human hire. They gave them the exact same prompt: build a complex Node.js and TypeScript email router complete with Google OAuth, ingestion, and queues. The goal was to see not just if they could write the syntax, but how they actually approach the underlying architecture. And wow, the difference in philosophy was just fascinating. Codex took the prompt and built a highly secure, incredibly auditable backend skeleton. We're talking 100% TypeScript coverage, Zod schema validation, and proper HMAX signed OAuth. Antigravity? Well, Antigravity kind of went completely rogue. It built this massive, fully functional, full-stack prototype complete with a working web dashboard that literally no one even asked for. But as a trade-off, its TypeScript coverage absolutely tanked down to just 37%. So it really all boils down to trust versus speed. Codex is your conservative security architect. It's going to give you clean, disciplined, reviewable code that you'd feel totally comfortable taking through a security audit. Antigravity, though, is like your overly ambitious, heavily caffeinated prototyper who stays up till 3 a.m. It's going to build you some amazing visual things incredibly fast, but you are definitely going to be cleaning up some serious technical debt later. Section 5. Designing your AI workforce. Now that we've seen what they can do, how do we choose? Well, here is the secret. You actually don't have to pick just one. The most powerful development workflow out there right now uses a dual agent strategy. You use Google's tool as your builder and OpenAI's tool as your auditor. You see, relying on a single AI often means it gets a little too lenient with its own mistakes. But by separating the builder from the reviewer, you create a really robust system of checks and balances. This setup is literally the best of both worlds. Here is how it works. You instruct Antigravity to rapidly scaffold out your new feature. That action then triggers a script that calls the Codex CLI in the background. Codex steps in, reviews the code, and flags any critical security or type issues. Then Antigravity automatically catches those flags and loops back, up to 5 times, to autocorrect its own mistakes until the errors are totally resolved. It is basically automated perfection. Let's quickly summarize your new architectural toolkit. You want to delegate to Codex when you need secure, isolated, pull request-driven code, or if you just need to scale your team asynchronously. But you should spin up Antigravity when you need rapid prototyping, parallel UI work, and visual browser validation. Oh, and a quick bonus tip, if your enterprise has super strict data privacy rules that block you from using cloud models, you definitely want to look into Agent AI. It's a fantastic open source alternative for multi-agent orchestration that you can run entirely on your own local hardware. So the era of optimizing your own keystrokes is officially over. As your role makes this massive shift from writing lines of code to orchestrating the workflows of autonomous systems, the ultimate question really isn't which AI is better. It's how you are going to design your team's new reality. These agents are here, and they are ready to code. The only question left is, are you ready to step up as the architect and manage them?